Salute everybody. Welcome to Miss Parker. Miss Parker. I appreciate everyone for joining me this evening. Thank you guys so much for supporting me through this interview. I'm super nervous, but hey, I am definitely here for it. Tonight, I'm bringing on a special guest. His name is Govan Hernandez. Govan Hernandez was found not guilty in the murder of Adolph Thornton Jr., better known as one of the best rappers coming out of Memphis, Tennessee, Young Dolph. Man, the Young Dolph fans in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, was definitely on a high rise, and blood pressures was up as that not guilty plea came out and hit the scene. So I simply hit him up after the verdict, and I was in his inbox immediately because I knew the rapture that this was going to bring, um, especially for the fans of Dolph. It's not what I expected, and unfortunately, they didn't have enough evidence to find Govan guilty. I'm not here to judge him, just simply ask him some questions, get his perspective on everything that happened and before and after the trial. And it's interesting to me because I listened to Gotti and I listened to Dolph. I don't know either party, just a fan of music. So I wanted to bring him on so we can get some questions out that we had that we wanted to ask that we couldn't probably get to where he was doing other interviews to ask him. But I got questions of my own in a respectful way. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have some respectful questions in the chat, I will ask him if he would like to answer those. But for now, I appreciate you guys again for pulling up with me with this one. You know what I'm saying? RP Young Dolph. Um, Prayers to his family and stuff like that. But like I said, if you have any questions, I will ask. I sent him the link, so he should be joining really soon. Let me let him know that I'm ready when he is. And y'all know I'm still new at this interview and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving my best. I'm gonna give it my best. And y'all know we be getting times mixed up. How did y'all feel? How did a lot of you guys feel that know the Dolph case, that followed the Dolph case? How did y'all feel when the verdict came back not guilty? Honest opinions, just respectful opinions, but how did you guys feel once the plea came back not guilty? I know how 713 probably feels. I seen him in here earlier. He's definitely a Dolph fan and stuff. Let me ask this. When somebody gets found not guilty, are we the judge and the jury? Can we get mad? Toya said I was mad. Explain, Toya. Can we honestly find someone guilty who doesn't have the evidence? Because I sometimes look at it as if Govan was. I have sons, and if my son's not guilty, sometimes I look at things like confused because he was closely tied to all parties. Okay, and Toya said just Jay said disappointed. And I get that. I definitely understand that. But I see this man getting so much hate, and I sometimes question everybody to why do we want to be the trial and jury sometimes? And just because he was, I was upset. Okay, just because he was a part of both parties, you know what I'm saying? Or he had because in an interview I heard him say that he was cool with Dolph. He didn't have no problem with Dolph. We can get mad because I was pissed about George Zimmerman, but we have to accept what we can't change. And I get that. I definitely understand that. I do. And Govan definitely has a lot of beefs out there. We talked about a couple of them, so I want to elaborate on those. You know what I'm saying, as well, to see what is happening. How do we get here? Was it all simply because of Dolph, or was it other things that escalated around the situation that kind of made him like, you know what I'm saying? Was it something he started? How did it start? Because we know he set the play in motion. But with the law is the law. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And Toya, how did you come up with, because we know he set the play, how do you know he set the play? Elaborate some more. How do you know he set the play? Because if he set the play, we got to look at why he's not found. Why wasn't he found guilty? Hold on, yeah. He was like, wait, it's 6 p.m. I was trying to get that Memphis time because I know a lot of people get confused. So I'm sorry, you guys. A lot of people get confused when I set up the interviews. Just stop by. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Hold on, guys. Let me make a quick phone call. Hold on. Sorry, guys. He's like, nah, nah, nah. I said, yeah. I be trying to let people know I'm on Eastern Standard Time, and Memphis is definitely on a different time. So I apologize. Hey, mysterious baby. So I get the emotions and stuff like that. I'm giving them like 5 or 10 minutes to come and stuff like that. Like I said, I definitely have some questions. I'm just a fan of the music, such as like me being from the Mo3 sector. I'm a fan of threes. I didn't know the ins and outs of the situation, what happened. So I never really get into that commentary. She said, yes, this had me come to support my guy on his interview. Okay, okay, mysterious. I'll definitely let him know, okay, that you are supporting and stuff like that. And I definitely want to get into the Big Jook relationship and the Yo Gotti relationship, his relationship with Straight Drop, his relationship with Cornelius Smith and others and stuff like that along the way. But again, and I see that he has beef with Charleston White. We talked about that a little bit, so I want to get into that with you guys. And also, little flip. It's like one thing after another, and then Paper Out Woo had some not so kind things to say about Govan. So I want to get into that. I want to get into a little bit about his daughter and so much more. It's so much more um, to touch on. She said they all will have to answer to God. I just know that I'm not the judge, jury, or executioner, but ultimately he will have to answer for his part on whatever. I can't stand when names be like this. I know I hate it too mysterious. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Y'all make sure y'all drop the good pussy in It's Toya's baby link as well. And Govan does have a channel for those that rock with Govan, don't have a problem or whatever. I would like his link to get dropped as well. He does have a podcast. I see that he had Seti Nash on his show. I'm interested in knowing about the beef and then the conclusion of how, he ended up having Seti on the show and everything went pretty good from what I've seen. And one thing I can't stand, okay, I'm still looking at the comments, sorry, but I like how black men can come together and, you know what I'm saying, work everything out, and it's no beef, it's no more blood being shed and stuff like that. A lot of y'all might like that, but I hate to see our black men falling into violence, losing their lives into unnecessary violence, when we could sit down, talk like men, the same way as black women. We could sit down, talk like black women, and either we can, squash things, or we can move right along as if we never knew each other. But sometimes it just doesn't go like that. Miss Parker, this is going to be a great interview. Yes, ma'am. I'll be starting Wake Up Rich 2026 since I retire my drama channel. Okay. I like that, mysterious. Wake Up Rich. That's awesome. Yeah, it's me, sis. Hit me on IG when you get a minute. Yeah, Toya's been over there banging. Y'all check my girl out. It's Toya, baby. Toya definitely had a good interview with Jazzy. I definitely checked it out. Toya, you are crafting your skills so amazing. Keep going. It was a good interview that you did. I also want to get in tune with some stuff that was said on Vlad TV. He's done a many interviews since he's been out, and I'm just excited to get down to the bottom of it for my own liking. And then, like I said, I'll ask some of y'all questions. She said, I don't go live at all no more. Check out my stories and while if you want me to grow and be prosperous. Yeah, J Town, I've definitely you need to check it out. I did a live about one of your shorts that you did and I shouted you out and I appreciate that. It was a good conversation over here. The little flip confrontation sounded pretty steep, but I think Charleston White's was even steeper. It was a lot of disrespect thrown into that. And again, definitely wanted to get into the signing straight drop to his record label and the relationship with Cornelius Smith, and also to see if he had a relationship with Jamarcus Johnson, which is Straight Drop's brother, who on June 9, 2023, was pled guilty to 3 counts of accessory in the murder of Young Dolph. So, yeah, always J Town, always. So, like I said, I'm just giving them a couple of minutes to get in here. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me, and please share this live out, you guys. You know, I'm trying to mix things around before the 2026 comes, and I think I want to switch lanes and get into more the music era because a lot of times we listen to it, but you know what I'm saying? It'd be so much behind the music. It'd be so much behind the music, and then when something like what happens to Mo3 or Dolph come, and then we turn into super fans and we're so judgmental, not even knowing the real story. So again, that's why I don't really do content. I had Don Don over here, Mahaya interviewed Don Don with me. You know, I thought it was only right being from the Mo3 sector that I've invited somebody that was once close to Mo3 when he was alive, which was Dun Dun, and I had him over here. So that's what I want to do if I'm a fan of the music or I'm into this and there's something going on and I got questions, damn it, I'm meddling. So I'm going to get that interview. I'm going to try anyway, okay? Even not just for me, but for the people that rock with the people and stuff. So that's just where I am with it, and that's how it's going to be. All righty.
You ain't
How you
recording
doing?
yet, is it?
How you doing, Govan? Thank you for
You
coming
ain't
up.
recording yet, is it?
Yes. How you doing?
You recording already?
Yeah.
Oh man, look at you.
Yes.
All right, hold on, give me 1 second. Give me one
All
second.
right.
Yeah, we had that time and all.
Yeah, that's why I be trying to communicate with everybody about the timing because I know a lot of people don't have the Eastern Standard Time, so I be forgetting too. So I always try to mention it. So I'm sorry that you forgot and everything like that. So, but I
Yeah,
appreciate you so much for pulling up, Govan.
definitely,
I was
definitely,
explaining to
definitely.
everybody who you was, and like I said, I don't have no dog in this fight. I like everybody, and stuff.
Yeah,
And I see how everybody always tries to. We're fans of the music, but we want to get into the street part of it and be judges without knowing what the fuck is really going on.
yeah. Without
You
knowing,
was found,
without knowing all the facts.
yes, without knowing all the facts, but we think we know, and I'm not one of those. I just said, hey, let me get him on here and ask him myself before I try to be a jury and an executioner.
Facts.
Found not guilty. How was it? Because they said you was the mastermind of everything. You was plagued to be the mastermind.
Well, they said a lot of stuff. That wasn't accurate. To try to bolster the case. They didn't even want me. I got indicted for other people. I was basically a casualty of war. Um, just to try to be able to for them to bring an indictment against Juke and Gotti.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I caught an interview with you on Vlad TV, and he was
Mhm.
talking about the night before something happened at your house with Cornelius Smith. Big Juke was there. You had Straight Drop because you was signing Straight Drop to trying to get Straight Drop to be an artist, sign him as an artist for CMG, correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am. Correct.
Okay, so can you elaborate on what happened?
So initially, I reached out to Juke. You know, when Drop was released from federal custody, he was he had a talk with my daughter. Him and my daughter, they were cool, and my daughter was telling him, you know, about CMG, and you know, she had a little interest as well. And so, with that being said, he ended up having a falling out with one of his close friends about a music deal that they were trying to do together. And so he asked me, could I reach out to them because you know that was one of the main labels that he wanted to sign with. So I reached out to Juke and told him they want, you know, my little partner just came home and you know he was like that in the street and he was talented and you know and just come by and check the material out. And everybody can't get Juke to pull up like that, you know what I'm saying? But I could. And he pulled up and you know when he pulled up we was in there talking and he had already told me about how much money it would take basically to uh, get his buzz to the level of where the labels will be interested and go ahead and you know and press the button on everything. And so I didn't have $500,000 at the time to do that. So I reached out to my brother who was at the time incarcerated. So all of us was on, you know, my brother was on the phone. It was me, Juke, and Straight Drop. And you know, after talking for a minute, watching a couple videos and showing him drop videos, and he was sort of impressed. You know, he liked it. And I get a knock at the door, and I go to the door, and it was Cornelius. And you know, prior to that, you know, every day or every other day, I would you know serve him X pills, weed, whatever he wanted. And I was under the impression that that's what he wanted. So I'm like, hey, look, bro, come back, you know, come back a little later. I'm trying to handle some business. I'm trying to get, you know, get drop sign, you know, CMG. And he was like, no, no, bro, it's important. It's important. So I step outside, and that's when he asked me. He was like, man, what's up, man? They ain't trying to do nothing about Dolph trying to kill Gotti. And at that point, you know, it was music to my ears. I had never heard of it. I really thought he was on some goofy shit, to be honest, you know, because I had heard of the shit the other way around, you know, attempted hits on Dolph Life, but not on Gotti. And so I told him he didn't know what he was talking about, and he was very adamant that he knew what he was talking about. He said that Dolph had an aunt or a cousin or something that stayed by his dad, and Dolph had been bragging on it. So I told him like, look, bro, you know, man, look, Big Dad ain't said nothing to me about that, and I know how Juke is. I want him to go back in there on on this shit because that's some major shit that he talking to me about. So I
Yeah.
ain't finna go back in there and holler at Big Dad about this shit and he ain't saying nothing to me about and potentially run him off from doing the music deal. That was my main concern. I ain't security for CMG or no shit like that. I'm trying to get this deal done so I can get me and my family out the street for the rest of my life. And so went back in there. I ain't say nothing to Juke about nothing he said. When the meeting was over with, when Juke was leaving, that's when him and Bobby stayed across the street from me with his mother um, my whole life. And they were coming from across the street. And that's when they asked Juke, like, man, what's up? You ain't trying to do nothing about dog trying to kill your brother? And so that's when Juke looked at me like, cuz, who was that? And so and that's when I told him, I'm like, you know, that's my little play brother Bobby, and that's his homeboy C. And so, you know, he asked C, he was like, how you know that? And that's when he told Juke the Dolph had been bragging on it over there in the third wheel area by his dad's house. And so, you know, and they had a discussion or whatever, and that's how that happened. You know, like it happened just like that, no cut, like no cut, no chase.
So was it ever confirmed? Did y'all? It was just word of mouth. Hey, or was it ever confirmed that Dolph was actually? Because Dolph never hit it that he ever had a problem with Gotti. He was very vocal in his music
Yeah.
about the issue with Gotti. So it's kind of like did y'all ever get it confirmed, or was it just really just young niggas word of mouth? Cornelia Smith, you know what I'm saying? Just the
When you say
just
get it confirmed about like Dolph trying to do something to Gotti,
right.
oh yeah, it was most certainly confirmed. Yeah, it was that. It was the Infinity pulled up on Gotti on I think he was on Winchester, and he was in the Rolls Royce truck, and they let off about 60 rounds in the truck. But he just, he was bulletproof. So, and Gotti, the way he moved, he ain't gonna report it. He gonna try to keep it low key as possible. He don't never respond to nothing or whatever. So, but to my surprise, it was a thing. It was true. It did happen. And so we could easily be sitting here talking about Gotti being dead. You know,
Yeah.
so,
So what was your relationship like with Big Juke? How did y'all connect?
me and Juke, we connected years ago from gambling in the street, just being in the street. You know, we both we both drank cough syrup, so we deal with the same people, just in that same group. Just from being in the streets for a long time as youngsters or whatever, and we both was dice shooters. So our relationship kind of like started through that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so everybody, the world is crazy. The Dolphins is like, okay, so he's cool with Big Juke, but yet he never met Gotti. Come on, like
I mean,
how is this possible?
I mean, I mean, I mean, it's like those are people who don't understand how that entertainment world goes. Like Gotti thrives. Well, in my opinion, I think he thrives off being unaccessible. You know, you can't, you can't get to Gotti like that. And I mean, I ain't no groupie for one. The dude been living in L.A. probably for I don't know how long. So uh, with that being said, Juk is older. Juk is more my age. Gotti a couple years younger or whatever. Gotti was never a dice shooter or a syrup drinker. He was always a rapper, or artist who felt like, he was, um, I guess, on another level or pedestal, so to speak, where, you know, he wasn't accessible. You couldn't just get to him like that, if you wanted to or if I wanted to. So uh, I stand on there. I put my right hand to God, like on my son, on my autistic son. I've never had a conversation with Yo Gotti in person. Never, ever, ever. If I'm lying, I hope God take the breath out of my autistic son.
So January 13th, 2024, your partner Big Juke's unalived. At any point, what was the feeling? And at any point, did you know that at that point shit's getting real?
Well, I knew it was real before that, you know. Uh, and then I'm from the streets. I'm from the era, so I know when it's on. We don't call it real. We call it it's on. So
Okay.
I know when it's on, it's on. And uh, I was I surprised? Yeah, I guess I was surprised because I just felt like if I was in Juke's shoes, I know how I would. I know how I move in my shoes. So if I was in Juke's shoes with the resources that he had or whatever, ain't no way no little niggas would have got up on me and get away and a raindrop ain't hit him too hard. Like that wouldn't have happened with me if I had the same resources that he had. So I don't know if bro got too comfortable, too relaxed or whatever, but you know, I'm trained differently. I'm wired differently. Like I ain't gonna never get that comfortable or that relaxed.
Yeah. Do you think that was in retaliation from Dolph's side or something totally different?
Man, anybody that even remotely believes that um, or insinuate that maybe Gotti or somebody like that on this side had something to do with death. They just delusional and just out of touch with reality. Like these people, even if you don't know them personally, you know that if you know them from a distance, you know that these people are so family oriented, like that would never happen. Like, uh, they would never harm each other. I mean, if you're from the streets, down here, we know the people down here. We know what happened, and we know who did it. If you know, you know. But it is what it is. So with that being said, nah, that came from this side.
Okay. I want to get a little personal, if you don't mind. I want to, watching your interviews with everything, and prayers to
Mhm.
you and your family for the loss of your daughter. But
I appreciate
everybody seemed to ask under all in the comment sections of all those interviews was, why did you apologize to your daughter if you had no involvement into what happened to her?
so as I explained, uh, with my daughter, when I said that had nothing to do with it. What that was about was my baby wanted to be me so bad. She was actually me with a wig on. And, you know, the type of stuff she rapped about, the type of the way she carried herself, the way she lived, you know, she toted guns like some of these YNs around here, So um I felt like that all that came from me, her just watching me growing up. And I felt like if I was more of, I guess, a better person, better role model, and carried myself differently, maybe she wouldn't have chose that route. Maybe she would have, you know, been a little different, I guess, so to speak, because her mama not like that. Her grandmother, people on this side, they not like that. I'm the only one that come from that environment and what you can consider a street person.
Yeah, and I could feel that. And you was also saying how your relationship wasn't so good. What happened?
You know, when I was growing up, when I got her mom pregnant, Destiny was my second child, and I got her mom pregnant. I was very young. I never had a father myself, so uh, I had I didn't know where to start as it relates to being a father. So I was just so caught up in the streets that I wasn't there. And when she was younger, um, when she got older, old enough to, I guess, reach out on her own, and we started to try to build a bond and a rapport. And uh, so I was just married to the streets, and I think that she kind of held it against me, um, so to speak. But in between all of that, we would still have good moments. Um, where we'll go out to eat, things like that, and but when we do something great, the next week we so much alike, we back arguing. So it was just one of them things. It was like almost like a cane corso and a pit bull, so to speak, when me and my baby get together. Because yeah, she was just so stubborn. You know what I'm saying? She was just like her dad.
Can you kind of elaborate on what happened to her exactly?
Yeah, so I had put it up on my channel. You know, she was in Louisiana. She went out to a club. She went out to a nightclub with her girlfriend, and she was just in the club, just having a good time. And um, some young boys in there that was in there. They was from Louisiana. They spotted her. I got all the paperwork on it. They told everything, and they knew her jewelry was real. They knew who she was. They knew that she had signed with a little Uzi, and so they felt like her jewelry was real, which it was. So they decided to rob her, and the robbery actually went bad. So that's
And
what
it's so
happened
unfortunate.
to you.
So unfortunate. Prayers to you and your family. And I appreciate you for being especially a black father, taking accountability. Like, I was married to the streets, you know what I'm saying? This is what I introduced her to. So she ended up like me, and this is, a part of it. So I get the guilt of all of that. I want to get into some of these beefs. I seen you paper route woo have was saying pick a casket, because a lot of them was saying, you might not be guilty in the court, but you guilty in the streets.
Yeah.
So what's the relationship? Did you elaborate on paper route woo? Because I know you got a hell of a tongue on you. So did you come back, clap back, and have a response to paper route woo?
Man, I actually chopped it up with Woo. We went back and forth. Uh, we went back and forth in the inbox, and I told Woo, I was just like, I know you a little emotional right now, but make this your first and last time saying it because, if you fuck around and scare me, Woo, you know, that's gonna be your worst mistake because if you scare me, I'm gonna take you for your word. And I like to sleep comfortable. I like to walk around comfortable. And the only way for me to do that is to, if it's a threat, the threat has to be eliminated. And so, we chopped it up, and I just recently went on Real Life Street Stars the other day, and they asked me the same question, and I told them, I kind of went light on Wu after he said that, based on that I know his mom and his dad, you know, and he just was a little upset about what Cornelius said on the stand, which was a lie. Cornelius was on the stand saying that um, I made a statement saying that I can get up under Wu's mom to potentially hurt him, but that's not what I said. This devil been laying up in a cell for 3, 4 years, however long it was, and took what I said, which was it was a conversation being had one day, and Wu name came up in a negative light. And so, me being the kind of person that I am, I know his dad personally. Used to be in the same car with him. We used to go to the clubs together every weekend. We had this one club called Denim and Diamond. We miss a rock and roll beat every weekend we there. And so, considering that, and I know his mom, I ain't seen her in 20 years. So how the hell could I get up under her? uh, Never said. What I said was is that, man, look, I know that my mom and daddy, I ain't the nigga security guard or none of that, but I don't want to hear that conversation because I just look at it like if his dad, which his dad named Tang, if Tang heard a conversation about one of my kids and somebody potentially trying to do something to him, I would want him to step in. So I just told them, look, I don't want no parts. I know that my mom and dad. Cornelius took that, laid up in a fucking cell, and switched it around just to make it sound good for the prosecution, so they could potentially use him as a witness, so he can try to get himself away from up under this crime. And
Mm-hmm.
he took that and said that I said I can get up under Wu Mama to hurt Wu. How the hell can I get up under Wu Mama and I ain't seen this lady in 20 years? So he didn't even know that. He didn't even know that I hadn't seen this lady in that long. So he just talking out the side of his neck and don't know what the hell he talking about. So when I chopped it up with Wu, hopefully he got a better understanding, for his sake anyway.
Yeah. It's somebody that are mixing your words up in the chat right now. Texas 713. Um, he's definitely mixing up your words. I want to get into this.
I
Somebody had told me to ask you about Jeremiah Taylor.
don't even know who that is.
I never heard of that in your interviews. They told me to ask you that, and I said I would.
Jeremiah Taylor. You should have asked him who that was. I have no idea who that is.
If y'all can tell me who he is, yeah, I never heard of that name. It's
Yeah,
never came up to
ask
me.
him in the chat, tell you who that is. Because
Yeah,
I
who
want to
is?
respond.
Uh, Yeah, who's Jeremiah Taylor? If you could elaborate a little bit more. You once said that Dolph always dissed Gotti, but they said that Gotti, it was some subliminals in the Two Federal mixtape. It was subliminals, and everybody knew that those subliminals was thrown at Dolph.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
do you feel that
I mean,
way? That you
I
know?
could. Okay, so when I guess maybe I worded it wrong when I said it. Maybe I should have said Gotti ain't never made a song where he actually called Dolph name and dissed him. I guess outright. You know, have he ever responded? Uh, have he ever responded subliminally? Of course, I'm sure you have. Yeah, I mean, when people when you being picked on through in several songs or whatever, you can only, he normally are typically a guy that don't respond, but when somebody going that hard on you, they'll push you to respond, and he chose to respond subliminally, so, but I still stand on that he never actually came out and said his name, and he for sure ain't never came out and dissed no one in his family, like Dolph was doing, unfortunately.
Mhm. And
So
you found out. You said like when you found out that Dolph was unalived, you found out that day through social media. So it was already immediate who done it, or was it just speculation that you
Spe-
seen that
Speculation
straight dropped?
about. So soon as it happened, his name started floating around social media, uh, immediately. So it spread like wildfire. Um, I just got a someone just reached out to me and just was like, "Your chat going crazy." It's about something that was said, but my daughter was killed in Houston, but she was killed by some guys from Louisiana, some little boys that was there just visiting on what they said in the paperwork. Somebody had a birthday, so they came to celebrate and just bumped into my daughter. So hopefully that clears up whatever's going on in your chat or
Okay,
whatever.
I ain't looking too much in the chat.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just strictly
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
focused
some.
on
I got some
you. You know
eyes
what
on
I'm
the chat.
saying?
I got some eyes on the
So
chat. They hit me and told me that.
okay, you more than welcome to. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You
yeah,
more
yeah,
than
for sure.
welcome to. I want you to. So why did they feel that Chandel Barnett was the driver?
Shondell,
Shondell, why did they figure that Shondell Barnett was the driver? And you was like, no, it was always Cornelius. How did you know?
how did I know that Shondell was the driver?
They
Shondell,
accused Sean. They said Shondell was the driver of
correct.
the car that
Who
took.
said that? Who said that?
It was said on one of the interviews I think that you done. It might have been a Vlad that asked you about
It
Shondell.
was, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. He was speaking on it, and he made a misstep, and he said Shondell something was the driver or something like that. And they
Yeah,
said, how did I know that he wasn't?
yeah. How did you know that it was always Cornelius?
Because I was locked up for 10 months on this case, and I had this much of discovery on 23 and one, that I actually had to read for 10 months, and I went through because my motherfucking life was on the line. That's how I know.
Okay, got it, got it, got it,
Yeah,
got it.
all right, all
Um,
right.
then we get to the Charleston White,
Talk to me.
the most disrespectful man on this earth to another black man. How did
He
we
not
get there?
he not the most disrespectful man on the, because I know several people personally that can get way disrespectful than Charleston White.
Okay,
They, they just not in their realm. They not in their YouTube world, YouTube space. He might be the most disrespectful person in the YouTube space right now. And I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say that because if I took the fields off, like I can get real disrespectful. I can, and especially in person. Because my disrespect becomes physical. So it'll be totally different. My form of disrespect kind of a little different from other people disrespect. But Charleston White, you know, he spoke on he spoke on the Dolph case when I won. When I got my not guilty verdict, he spoke on it. I responded. And when I responded, I guess Charleston was bored at the time. I ended up chopping it up with Dewberry. It's like his brother. And
yeah,
Dewberry, good dude. Shout out to Dewberry. And Dewberry was just like, man, Charleston said, man, ain't no beef. It is what it is, man. It's just the internet. And so with that being said, when we was going back and forth, I wasn't doing no tripping really. I wasn't. My issue came in, my only issue, because I got alligator skin for the most part, because I come from that environment. But when you get to saying that you're gonna put piss by my daughter grave, that was a little different for me. And I guess he thought he was making me uh, upset or whatever. You wasn't hurting my feelings or whatever. When you say that, you was just basically you was putting your life in danger. By well, I guess not by saying it, but if you would have done that, because I like to fight fire with fire. So when he was doing it, I got homeboys all around the world, and that's how when I told him about his mama living on that little bitty ass street, I know that probably kind of hit home because I know he probably like, damn, how he know that, and
mm,
you know, and
mm,
my little partner and them told me, go by your daughter grave as I did, and if it's a couple piss out there, we're gonna make it happen. And
mm.
so thank God it wasn't no piss out there, because I was gonna go all out. I was gonna go all out about that, and I was gonna take the picture with a smile.
Yeah. And I know you said that Dewberry kind of, you know what I'm saying, some things to me just ain't no coming back. Can you chop it up with Charleston after that, or you just like, hey, I'm just leave, just
Man,
keep my daughter name at your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
it's
Let's
like
just move
it's like
forward.
this. It's like this. Like, and you know, and you absolutely right. Like a lot of things you can't come back from. And I recently seen Woody forgave him for what he said about his daughter. Could I do that? I was asked, it's crazy. I was asked this question recently. I think, considering that I got so much love for Gangster, if Gangster and Gangster done form like a brotherhood with Charleston, and if Gangster was to ask me to sit down with Charleston, I would. But I think Gangster should be there to make sure everything is okay or whatever. But I would love to have a conversation with Charleston because prior to all of this, as crazy as this might sound, prior to all of this, man, I used to sit up and watch and laugh at this nigga on TV all night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Real
uh,
talk.
some things you agree with that he do, some things you don't agree with, because the nigga smart. He'll say some very intelligent shit, then he'll turn around and say some fuck shit, you know. But yeah, I used to like when he was in tour with the Sanders family, Deion Sanders and them and shit. You know what I'm saying? I used to look at it and laugh all night. So, you know, prior to that, I was a supporter, I guess, because I ain't no fan of no nigga, but I was a supporter prior to us having our issue or whatever, so to speak. So, yeah, I think when you think about it, I think it'll be a very interesting conversation. And yeah, like I said, if Gangster reached out to me and asked me to do it, I'll do it. But other than that, I ain't finna be. I ain't looking for no nigga to have no conversation with him.
In the same way, I asked that because I recall in another interview that you did about the NBA player
You
that
been
was.
watching my interviews, ain't Miss Parker?
Yeah, of
Oh, okay,
course.
then,
About
okay.
the NBA player that from Memphis that played for Memphis that wanted Dolph and Gotti to kind of settle their differences. He wanted them to sit down and kind of hash their differences over. So in that instance too, can you kind of feel like you said Gotti was down, but Dolph was like, nah. Cause
Fact.
at some point it's like, shit, what's done is done. I don't wanna sit down and you know what I'm saying? It's just and I think that's where the beef was with Dolph. Like, just in my opinion, from the music alone, it was like Dolph was like, nah, I ain't sitting down with nobody. Like, I ain't, it is what it is. It's up and it's stuck.
But okay, so what you saying that shouldn't wouldn't you expect that to for Gotti to be saying that more so than Dolph? If Dolph is the one that on every song he get on, he's calling his name, dissing him, and whatever. I know if somebody doing me like that, I'm gonna be very hesitant to sit down with him. But when this particular club promoter that the NBA player got to reach out, it's Gotti was open to it, very open to it. I wish I could tell you these people name, uh, so they could confirm this or whatever. But I don't want to put them out there. These people, the club promoter, he got a lot of legal, legit connections in the city, and I don't want to put his name out there like he getting involved in street shit or whatever that he really not involved in. But he wanted them to. He probably wanted them to squash it to himself outside of the NBA players just to try to do it for the city. And unfortunately, if Dolph would have been open to it, he'll probably still be alive right to this day. And which, I wish he was. Because he was a great asset to the city for sure he was.
But you did say that Dolph, you said on Vlad TV, I just want to know your meaning when you said Dolph had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. What did that mean?
Well, that was at one point. When me and him was, when we would do our little transactions or whatever, he was rapping and he was still selling marijuana. So that's when he had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. But he got to a point where Dolph started getting so much money and got so, he got so, so popular, the marijuana shit was it was a dead end. It ain't make no sense to be still dealing. He making too much money in the rap game. So, that part of his life was over with.
So then we get to I see you doing SETI. I see you had SETI on your podcast. Was it a play? Was you and SETI should have played or was it real? You know what I'm saying? Because I know
Uh,
SETI. be getting disrespectful too. But
Yeah,
I know how your mouth is. But then I
yeah.
see Seti on your podcast. I'm like, when the fuck did this happen?
So in the beginning, no, there wasn't a play. Like I was real, I was upset. Like I was just like I was upset with other bloggers for saying certain things. I was upset with City too. Um, just so happened, Gangster, being the person he is, he reached out to both parties, and he basically did the same thing we were just talking about, like that could possibly happen with Charleston. That's what Gangster did with me and City. And to be honest, I really didn't think City was gonna pull up at Gangster Studio in Texas, because everybody be talking about like how he really be faking, he ain't no gangster for real, and all of this. So uh, but hey, said he pulled up. He pulled up by himself, and he wasn't scared or whatever. He wasn't aggressive either, because I ain't going for that. But he pulled up and chopped it up, and I spoke my piece. He spoke his piece, and it wasn't nothing that bad to the point where we couldn't move on from it, and said it once we got past that, said it, he done showed me a lot of real things. He done helped me out a lot, with this YouTube stuff, because it's YouTube ain't my world. I'm from the streets. This some shit I'm just learning, on the fly. And said he been assisting me, with any question that I might have. I get frustrated with something, I can call him. If he got the knowledge, he ain't gonna gatekeep it. He gonna give it to me.
Yeah, the good pussy in the chat. She said, "Govan don't know how to run a play. He don't know how to act."
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she's
yeah.
so
Good,
she be
yeah, good.
watching.
Yeah, that's my girl right there. Yeah, I fuck with
Yeah,
her.
yeah, that's my sis. That's my sis. I heard when you and said he was doing your interview, he was saying something about that the black woman that you say is Cornelius's godmother or something pertaining to that. He was saying, do you think she saved? I don't want to get his words mixed up, but do you think that she kind of saved you from being found guilty? Like, was she? And I wanted to elaborate on that because you was talking about a note that Cornelius wrote her and stuff like that, that testified, the old lady that testified.
Hmm. Yeah, you asking me, do I feel like she saved me?
Yes, that her testimony saved
I ain't,
you.
I ain't gonna say her testimony saved me. I think Manny Aurora saved me, my attorney.
Hmm.
I think her testimony was powerful. I think it hit home with the jury, and reason being because Manny had already said it before we even went to trial. I forget how old she was. I think she was 70 something or whatever. But Manny was like, she's a 70-year old elderly lady. She never had a speeding ticket before and never been involved in no type of criminal activity. She's been knowing Cornelius for however long he was living, 30 some, 40, however old he was, and been living right next door to him for all these years. The lady said that Cornelius has helped her with groceries. That she's let Cornelius and his father stay at her house when their lights was off over the years, and she looked at him like, like a grandson or whatever. So for her to get on the stand, and this lady don't know me from Adam. I ain't never met this lady, never seen her in life. So for her to get on the stand and say that if Cornelia Smith told the detectives that someone brought her $800 and a note, then he a lying piece of shit because it never happened. And before she said that, she spoke about the good things that Cornelius has done for her, helping over groceries, getting out the car, and all of this. So I ain't gonna, she didn't have a dog in the fight, but if she did, it would have been with him. It wouldn't have been with me because she don't know me. But the type of woman she is, she got up there and just told the truth. So people have to put this into perspective. Like, if Cornelius was willing to tell the detectives and the prosecution a bold-faced lie on a 70-year-old elderly woman and involve her in this dangerous ass case, and he been knowing her his whole life, what would he do to a nigga he been knowing 4 months? Like, people don't look at that and they don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this lady, you just involved this lady in a case where several people been murdered. It's a high profile rap beef, and this lady like a grandmama to you. And what you told the detectives is a lie.
Wow.
So, people just don't, they don't be getting it. It's like they stuck on what they want to be stuck on, which is I'm guilty, instead of just going through the facts.
Do you think it would Big Juke wasn't unalive that he would have been indicted?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say no. And the reason you want to know the reason why is because they needed me to do that. And the same evidence that they had against me, they had against Juke. They knew the case was bullshit, was BS. That's why Juke wasn't indicted when I was indicted, because they knew that Juke had the resources. He was gonna make bond. He was gonna have the best legal team available, and they felt like I didn't have those resources. So let's indict Govan and not indict Juke. Hopefully, we can indict him, put enough pressure on him, and he'll tell on Gotti and Juke. But it wasn't nothing for me to tell because I ain't know shit. So like, if I was so much of the police and the informant and all of this goofy ass shit, then Gotti and Juke have a Chinese name, one gone. But with that being said, I ain't no shit to tell, cause it wasn't nothing to tell, especially on a motherfucker that I ain't never met in person, which is Gotti. So
But the prosecutors was adamant that it was just coincidentally that you had talked to Juke, Cornelius, and Justin prior to, um, the death of young Dolph. Why was they so adamant on saying it
well,
was
the
coincidence that you
meeting
had this
to
connection with
clear
them before?
to clear that up, that meeting happened 7 months prior to young Dolph being killed. Because when I made the introduction, I got out the way. I was still doing what I do on the street, selling my dope, getting my money. I wasn't trying to babysit the record deal. I can't go to the studios. I can't go out of town to the shows, and I don't want to meet the celebrities. I ain't Puff Daddy. I don't want to be in the videos. I just want my money. And so, with that being said, when I made the introduction, I got out the way. Like, I ain't 6, 7 months later, then boom, all this weird shit happened. So that meeting that was had, for the idiots that don't know, it wasn't right before Dolph got killed. It was 6, 7 months prior.
Right. Um, we get into this beef right here. This is the last beef I want to talk about. You and Flip. I seen the interview where you said y'all snatched Ti's chain and melted the bitch down and shit. So I'm like, okay, so he had Flip's back when the Ti situation, because I remember, you know what I'm saying? I remember when, they allegedly fought and some more shit, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I see that. I see that. I see the clovers. You know what I'm saying? I know about the clovers, man. I used to
I know,
drop
I
them.
know you
I
do.
know
I
about
know
the
you do,
clovers.
and I know how.
Yeah, you know how. You know how. But out of respect for both you men, you know what I'm saying? I just wanna stick to Flip.
Look,
So
look,
y'all
look, look,
see,
look. No,
go
no, no.
ahead.
What you doing?
Go and put it out there then. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, Scope. Say no to Scope.
Yep.
I ain't.
That's
I'm gonna
my
tell.
part. Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
tell you. And you know what? I'm to your credit. When we was talking through text, you said that you stood on that. You was like, "Yeah, that's my friend." So if he listening, bruh, she stood on business about your name. She ain't ducking. With that being said, man, that little nigga used to call me big bro. Like, for real. Like, literally, what's up, big bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? And at one point I fucked with Skull. Like, that was my little nigga. Like, he could have called me at 2, 3 in the morning, and I would have, what I'm saying, hey, bro, I'm in some shit. I ain't asking no questions or nothing. I'm pulling up. So I don't know if he thought I wasn't getting back out or I was done for. But Skull got to saying some shit that I know he wouldn't say around me, and he know it. Skull can't go look himself in the mirror and tell himself that he would have said that in my face. That's what made me so goddamn upset about it. And just like I told Rainwater the other day, me and Rainwater was shopping it. And Rainwater did the same thing you did. Rainwater told me, he was like, man, man, Sko did a lot for my boy Mo3, and that's my guy. And I respect the Rainwater for that, you know. But I had to tell Rainwater about this guy because Rainwater said, "Yeah, man, you know, him and Flip kind of stopped answering the phone for you." I said, "Him, Flip, and who? Man, I ain't never in my motherfucking life called no Sco phone. Call his phone for what? Fuck, I'm calling Scope." So I said, if Rainwater, if Scope, your nigga who you just said, if he told you that, then your nigga is a lying motherfucker. Cause I ain't never called Scope for shit. I ain't never needed Scope for a bitch ass thing. Only thing I done ever needed Scope for was if we pulled up to a store or something, and I got the straps and Flip shake ass don't want to go in the store. Not Scope, you got to go in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never needed them for nothing. So if you told Rainwater I called your phone or whatever and you stopped answering for me, nigga, you a lie. You said that for clout. If he said it. I don't know who lying, him or Rainwater, but somebody lying. Because I ain't never called the nigga phone. Nigga, anytime I done never talked to you was in person at Flip House. But other than that, though,
So
you
do
know,
you
like I said,
think?
that was my little nigga
So
at one point.
do you think that what did Scope like? Was it so personal that you think you don't? Would you and Scope have a conversation when y'all be able to sit down and have a conversation? Is it something that gangster would have to put together, or is it somewhere Scope was
No,
your bro? You know what I'm saying? And
Gangster wouldn't
y'all can have
I
that
don't think
conversation.
I don't think Gangster would have to put this together. I don't even know if Gangster knows Skull like that. I told Rainwater. Rainwater asked me the other day before me and Rain got on the phone. Rainwater was like, "Man, if he call you, will you talk to him?" And I told Rain, I said, "Man, yeah, if the little nigga call me, yeah, I talk to him. And I was just upset with him because I heard him make a comment saying something like, "Man, it's quit, nigga, man. We once thought he was this gorilla and this real nigga, and you know what I'm saying, and woo woo woo, and turned out to be no, nigga. I'm still him." Nigga, I'm still that same nigga, nigga. When somebody's needed, nigga, in somebody's bushes, nigga, that's still me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this case or none of that tarnish how you feel about me or tarnish what you know about me. Because Sko know. He know himself. He know what's up with me. And for him to let this case alter his judgment about a nigga that he called his brother, that's what I had an issue with. Because at one point in time, I would have pulled up for Scope and not ask no questions and talk about it tomorrow.
And Rain, one thing about Rain is, you know what I'm saying? I've been on the panel with Rain a few times, but Rain, boy, shit.
Talk to me.
Rain
Right.
always running. Yeah, Rain always running his motherfucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying there's something wrong with 2 million, but god damn, Rain always carrying a fucking bone. Like, damn, my nigga.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
boom, y'all snatched Ti's chain. So
So
I mean,
so
one
so,
point you
so
have
after the no jumper interview, I ended up talking to Flip, and Flip was like, "This was our first time talking in a while," and he was like, "Bro," we was laughing and shit. And he was like, "Bro, he was like, that shit happened so long ago, you don't even remember, right? It wasn't the chain, we had got the ring." And I was like, "Yeah, you showed right. It was the PSC, the Pimp Squad click ring that we got, and we took it and went and melted it down for clothes."
yeah. So
Yeah.
how do we get here to where we beefing and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Me and you talked about
To
it.
my me,
How do we
how
get
me
here?
and Flip here.
Yes.
Well, what I'm saying, we got here because when I got indicted, that showed me, of course, prior to that, over the years, I done seen little bro do a lot of fake shit, but I'm sure if you got a sister or a brother, you probably done seen them do some fake shit before, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Of
But
course.
it's your sibling though, so you tend to look over it, the shit just done got to a point, man, where I can't look over it no more. Especially when I got indicted and you took your tail, nigga, and and the reason why you took your tail because you just shaky. Like this nigga was so concerned, and I know him. I know him. I know man, the nigga, and he should have been an usher at church. That's how scary. That's how scary he is. Like, and he was afraid, probably, of getting some backlash from paper route or whoever it may be. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna try to distance himself. So boom, when I beat the shit and I come home, now it's a different tune. But now I'm
Mm.
bitter now though, so I don't want to hear this soft ass sucker shit really. But that's still my little brother, so boom, I'm gonna hear him out, and and see what it hit for. We chopped it or whatever. He got to telling me some lame ass shit, some shit that didn't make no sense or whatever. Like, nigga, you ain't never had a speeding ticket. You ain't never sold a gram before. How the fuck my case how they gonna involve you in my case? He said that was one of his concerns. Man, nigga, you ain't never shot a bow and arrow. How the fuck they gonna involve you in my case? So, um, with that being said, we, move forward to him, gonna do my podcast and all of that. And, we was going back and forth, finna just discuss the questions and all of that. And, he just was acting weird. And me being me, I just blew up and checked the shit out of him and went off and let him have it. I went off on him for me and everybody else that's been around him over the years who he ain't never did shit for. I'm gonna tell you something. I could go down the list because I've been there. I could go down the list of every motherfucker that's done been around. The man ain't never did shit for nobody. Ex-Sko, ex your boy. I bet he ain't never bought Sko a combo meal. You know what? I take that back. He did do something for Sko. He gave Sko a fake ass necklace when we was at a video shoot one day. Yeah, so I take that back, Sko. I'm sorry. If you listening, he did give you a fake ass necklace one day. That black ass bullshit ass necklace with that fake ass medallion on it. Yeah, so, and Sko wore that motherfucker proudly.
Yeah, I know Skull rocks with Flip for sure. I do know that.
But Flip don't rock with Sko. Because I just had a conversation with Flip a couple of weeks ago, and it was basically fuck Sko.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And Flip, if you watching, nigga, you know goddamn well you see it, nigga.
So Flip said fuck Skull because I ain't never heard Skull say a bad thing. I know we always respected Flip on behalf of Skull, the respect that Skull had for Flip, and now is
Man,
fuck.
listen.
In this, when me
Sko
and
is
you had our
Sko. Listen, I know exactly what Sko going through. Sko is he in the delusional stage. He in the stage of he been a Clover G, a so-called Clover G for all of these years, and he don't want the embarrassment of telling people how Flip really is. And if Sko watching, he know what I'm saying is 100 in the truth. If Sko went to jail right today and had $1,000 bond, he couldn't call Flip to get $10 on that motherfucker. And he know it. And he ain't gonna come on your platform or nobody else and say I'm lying about that. Because he know Flip is a rotten motherfucker. And he know everybody around him done left him and done quit fucking with him because they know he a selfish, dirty motherfucker.
But let me ask you this: is that just real nigga shit that Skull? If Skull do know it about Flip, I think it's sometimes I look at it as real nigga shit. Like I'm gonna leave you in the wind. Like I ain't even. You already know what type of
But
nigga
see,
you are.
but see, but
You know
see,
what I'm
but see,
saying?
the
I
difference.
don't think
But
it's
see,
no
I'm gonna
sucker
tell
shit
you.
on.
I'm gonna tell you the difference between me and Sko wasn't close to Flip like me. Sko ain't did the shit for Flip that I have. Sko ain't paid no $5,000 rent when Flip was broke in Katy. I was the motherfucker doing that. When Flip was finna take the jewelry to the pawn shop, I'm the nigga going in my pocket. Huh, Flip, he go 2,000. You ain't gotta pawn your jewelry. When Flip was going through withdrawals, needing drink, and I had no money for drink, I was the nigga that was buying it. Sko ain't never did none of this shit. So he ain't gonna feel how I feel.
Yeah. How did the conversation even come up for him to say fuck Skull?
Oh, because I was telling him, I'm like, man, what's up with this little Sko nigga? You the little nigga you introduced me to that was calling me, bro. He playing with fire, Flip. Oh shit, man, I ain't talked to him since goddamn it he started that podcast shit. Man, I don't want no parts of this shit. I ain't in that world. I ain't been rocking with him. That's what he said.
And it's crazy that Flip said that to you because when I was Skull Gang, when I first came to the Mo3 sector, we weren't even the Mo3 sector. That's what we call the
Mm,
sector I'm from, Govan.
yeah,
And we knew, along the way that Skull was cool with Flip, and Flip had, so he's saying he ain't made the, I don't fuck with the nigga since the podcast shit, but nigga, you done made an appearance on the motherfucking podcast. You get what I'm saying? We done seen Skull take with you on the motherfucking podcast. So see
and
how
see,
what I'm
and
saying
see, and
to you
see,
about
and
how
see,
niggas be
and see
all
that
this so
fake shit,
backstabbing shit be
and see
crazy
that fake
to me.
shit. That's fake shit because Flip gonna take my side at least in my face over
Yeah.
Scope any day. You feel what I'm saying? So when I'm voicing my displeasure to him about Scope, of course he ain't gonna tell me, oh man, yeah, man, I fuck with him, or you know what I'm saying, or woo, 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 woo. He gonna agree with me and gonna side with me off the dribble. You know what I'm saying? And but if he came on there and appeared on there or whatever, however, whatever, he may have. But from what he told me, it was like he don't want no parts of this shit. He told Sko like the shit he be doing. Matter of fact, yeah, he told me it verbatim. He told Sko, man, the shit you be doing on there or whatever, that shit can lead to a world of trouble. And he was like, Sko even told him, man, that's why I kind of bagged up, because I know you ain't with this shit, what I'm saying, that I'm involved in or whatever the case. But uh, Flipper's a habitual liar too. So, he didn't tell me that part about him actually going on. How long ago?
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was that?
Well, I first started with Skull at the end of 2020, in December of 2020. So, maybe
If
just
you
a
had
few
to, if
months
you had to
in, like
guess,
a couple of months
ballpark,
in and
ballpark.
stuff. That's why, because we was dropping the clovers. We was dropping the clovers in the chat. You get what I'm saying? We wasn't dropping the no signs in the chat. We was dropping
The
the
clovers.
clovers. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because we knew that's what Skull read. So we didn't do no signs until maybe a couple of months later. You know what I'm saying? But it's still that he's saying, oh yeah, since that nigga started that podcast shit, you know what I'm saying? But you can't make an appearance on some shit and Skulls actually got his podcast while he filming with your ass and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big upping,
That's how.
you know what I'm saying,
That's
my
how.
bruh
That's how fake
type
niggas
shit.
are.
Cause that's how
That's
I got the
how fake
episode
niggas are.
through Skulls podcast. So you down when you were getting down, you kicking it with the niggas. Fuck the nigga he doing, but Sko ain't doing nothing but news, just like I do news over here. And what you saying, the rainwater, the Mo3 shit, you know what I'm saying? Sko's just promoting, you know what I'm saying, a nigga from his city's music, you know what I'm saying, that lost his
Mhm.
life on the highway, and Sko do the news. We all as content creators that do content break news down. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
crazy if you go over and just check it out. Skull really just breaking clips down and saying what the fuck the niggas are saying in the video. We get our audience's opinion. So now you done made an appearance on this nigga podcast. That's how we know you from dropping motherfucking clovers, represent, you know what I'm saying? And Skull looking at you like a brother. Now this fuck Skull and I hate when motherfuckers do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like you said in your face, it's that, but you know what I'm saying? Then behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? So like that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? And long as Sko ain't never bring his name up in a negative way, like, oh, let me tell you about Flip situation. Matter of fact, could nobody even disrespect the nigga? Could nobody even bring up a situation he was in? So if a nigga is telling business, hey, Sko got a open platform to where everybody can speak their motherfucking mind. He would have let them niggas ride down on him about T.I. and all that shit, because I was there at that time, and that nigga wouldn't let nobody, he wouldn't even get into it. You know what I'm saying?
And
But he
see,
got
and that's
into
how. That's
all
how.
the other shit, but he didn't
That's
get
how.
into that shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's how. You know what I'm saying. If that's your brother, if you a real nigga, that's how you supposed to do it. You supposed to stand up like that. So Sko wasn't doing nothing wrong, but Sko know in his heart that he was doing it for a person. He was doing it for. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep,
He
I
was.
can hear you. You
He
can't hear
was doing.
me?
I can. I can. So he was doing this for a
Okay.
person. He was doing this for a person that, and Sko hard. Sko know that Flip don't fuck with him. How he fuck with Flip. Sko can't come on here and say one real thing that Flip done for him. And I don't even know all of Sko business like that. But I know this Flip nigga, and I know he ain't done shit real. Man, Lil Red. I just talked to Lil Red yesterday, or day before yesterday. And Sko know Lil Red. Lil Red used to rap with Flip. Lil Red just did 11 years. Lil Red, Sko from Dallas. So, we was in Houston. Sometimes, Sko would come and fuck with us or whatever. But Lil Red was there every day. Lil Red hold the bags, go in the store, go get the weed, do whatever for Flip. The man just did 11 years. The Flip ain't sent this man one motherfucking dollar in 11 years and didn't accept
Mm.
one motherfucking call. One phone call from this young
Wow.
nigga, that went to jail for 11 years, who used to look up to you like a brother and done every motherfucking man. The man did everything but put Flip shoes on.
Wow.
That's how much of a sucker Lil Flip is, man. And I'm tired of babysitting and putting a band-aid on this nigga reputation, man. Man, fuck Flip.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Real talk. Real talk. That's crazy work. Somebody in the chat just said they've been knowing, you know what I'm saying, knowing about Flip being like that for a minute, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
before they
so
made family.
whoever that is in the chat, see, they probably somebody that know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably know. Like, yeah, the nigga is a rotten motherfucker. You listen, go get Willane, who he used to rap about. Go get BG Duke, B Scott, Lil Red. Uh, you can even go get Capone, the nigga that's right now in the car with Flip. He'll tell you. Because he done told me that Flip a whole ass nigga. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like, Capone, I'm the same nigga. I used to be protecting Flip from Capone. Capone to be, you know, I say me and Capone was the closest to Flip. You know what I'm saying? So when Capone have his issues, they going back and forth, cussing each other, and Capone threatened. I'm the nigga that was at the door with the chopper when we was out there off of Eldridge Parkway, telling Capone, yeah, you pull up, you ain't gonna pull up no more. I bet you won't pull your tough ass up. And Capone right there. You know what I'm saying? So, and Capone ain't no hoe. You know, I fuck with Capone. It's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, me and Capone done buddy heads before. But Capone done told me, let me tell you something. Capone got a daughter. This nigga Capone done put his life on the line for Flip several times. Capone got a daughter that do music. And I hope Capone see this because he knowing what I'm saying is 100. Because this shit hurt. This shit hurt Capone. Capone down there cried to me in the truck. The main daughter wanted Flip to get on the song, man. Man, don't you know, man, don't you know this whole ass nigga, man? This nigga so addicted to cough syrup. He tried to charge the main daughter. That's how much of a sucker this the nigga we talking about, man. A nigga that put his life on the line for you, man. Nigga, the nigga fought your battle, nigga. When you was scared to fight third, nigga, he fought him, nigga. And got whooped in the process.
Not whooped in the process.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson done lost, but Paul ain't no hoe. He just lost a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul
Yeah.
ain't no hoe at all. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy work. But I talked to you about this. We didn't get into much detail, but I told you I was like, if a motherfucker do his homeboys, like you said, that's doing everything but putting on the nigga's shoes, man, who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? That's how I view bitches. You know what I'm saying? If that bitch do that to a bitch that's damn near kissing her ass, hey,
Man, I'm gonna tell you something,
shit,
man.
I
I
ain't
used to call
ready
I used
to
to
put
call
up
home
here.
sometime, man. I call home sometime, motherfucker be like, hey, Flip sent you a couple dollars off real. What he sent? Oh, 120 or hey man, call him and send that shit back. Cause sound like he need it more than I do.
Hmm.
You a platinum
Hmm.
motherfucking artist and you send a nigga that's used to having real money, $120. The fuck I'm gonna do with that, nigga? Nigga, my bitch sent me more than $120. Nigga, you a platinum artist, nigga.
Yeah, it's crazy work, and you and Skull's issue, I don't get into men shit too much, you know what I'm saying? And I let you know I rock with both parties, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to elaborate, so I'm glad you brought that out. But it's fucked up that Flip is apparently allegedly playing both sides of the fence. And I've heard things, you know what I'm saying, throughout the years about Flip doing
That's
that.
just
So it
all them
ain't
niggas he
nothing
running.
new to me.
All them niggas he running with right now. Zero, Slim Thug. He don't like none of them niggas, man. He used to talk about them niggas like a dog to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, one of the times when Zero disrespected him at a show, he told Red and he told a couple more man, Quit was here, man, Quit with the folks Zero up, woo woo woo. Man, he don't like none of them niggas. He just scared of them niggas.
Mm.
That's all it is, man. He's scared of them niggas. And them
And
niggas ain't nobody.
You said Slim Thug too.
Yeah, Slim, yeah, Paul Wall, Zero, yeah, man, yeah. You done talked about all these niggas like a dog.
TT said, well, tell me this. How did you afford Manny as your attorney if you was supposed to have been a broke nigga?
If I was who now?
Because I guess they were saying, she said, how did you afford Manny as your attorney if you was supposed to be a broke man?
So what Manny was saying about it, and me and Manny, we laugh about it all the time. And I'm glad she asked that question because I can definitely answer it. I ain't ducking no smoke. Manny Aurora is an attorney that prior to my case was just on the Donald Trump defense team. He represented Pac-Man Jones, Lil Durk, Kanye West. With that being said, my case was if I was an entertainer or something, my case was easily $1 million case. Easily, right? When I hired Manny, I probably had $60,000, $70,000 left. That wasn't enough for that. That man shut down his office for months fucking with this case. You know how much money he missed being focused on my case? So
Right.
what he's saying is, yeah, I did. Of course I gave him some money. Could I afford the 500,000 or the million? Hell no, I couldn't. So, but even though I couldn't afford to pay the rest of it, he ain't tuck his tail, man. You know what I'm saying? He found it in his heart to just, you know what I'm saying, to ride it out with me. You know what I'm saying? He knew. I mean, I wasn't fronting. It ain't like I had it and didn't want to give it to him. He know, yeah, shit. I had exercised all my resources. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I couldn't give him the type of money, that he would require. But I gave him what I had.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't know what his pockets look like, and I can't tell y'all what was in that man's bank account. She said Ashley Perspective said, "What's your zodiac sign?"
a Libra.
They sh- he's a Libra. She asked again. Okay. She said they said he represented you for free, and why?
Well, it wasn't for free. It may seem like for free to him because it might be some petty ass money to him, but $40,000-$50,000 is a lot to me.
Mhm.
Especially when you're giving it to another individual. So, um, yeah. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he was just, I guess he was just basing it off of, I guess after the $40,000-$50,000, I was broke. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and,
Right.
and I was on house arrest, they wouldn't let me work. So, it wasn't nothing I could after I gave him what I had, because my previous attorney I had gave $25,000 to. Um, and when me and him bumped heads and we weren't seeing eye to eye, he did keep it G, because they don't normally do that. He gave me every dollar back, $25,000, not a dollar short. And so when he gave me that back, boom, I gave that straight to Manny. And, I was giving Manny 5,000 here, you know what I'm saying, 3,000 here, shit like that, shit, my hotel fee for right before trial, my hotel fee was 6,000 just for hotel rooms for
Mm.
4 lawyers for like how many days they was here? Maybe like 10 days or some shit. That shit was 6,000. So yeah, it's a lot of shit that I paid for. It may not it may not be considered as lawyer fees or whatever, but not to mention all the goddamn plane tickets I paid for. You know what I'm saying? So I just was short on the lawyer fee, but plane tickets and hotel rooms and shit, I ain't miss a beat paying this shit.
Yeah. Ashley Perspective said, "Are you single?"
Am I single? Yes.
He's single. Reed said, "If you and Flip was beefing, how did you talk to him just about a couple of weeks ago?"
So again, when I got indicted, Flip turned his back on me. I called him maybe once or twice, no answer. After that first initial call, I ain't finna be called. I ain't no bitch. I ain't finna be constantly calling no nigga. So I ain't called back no more. When I got out, boom, I went to trial, not guilty verdict. People around him that know me, they talking for him, and I'm sending messages back and forth. But at this point, I'm bitter as a motherfucker because the nigga done turned their back on me when I was just locked up. But again, the love that I had for him, I still took the call just to see if we could, if I could get past my bitterness. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear what the nigga got to say. I really want to know what his explanation was for turning his back on a nigga that's done stood on the front line and held their fire and protected his shake ass. I want to know. I want to know what he got to say. So that was that was more so than my motivation to get on the call with him. You know what I'm saying? More than anything, because I want to hear the explanation. I want to see if this motherfucker gonna be logical.
Yeah.
Because in my world, nigga, it ain't nothing really you can say to me. You know what I'm saying? To
Mm-hmm.
make me feel like nigga, you get a pass for what you did
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's forever fuck Flip. Ain't
forever.
no coming back.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
let me take that back. Let me take that back. Because I just when I was just on Real Life Street Stars the other day, they asked me that. So I can't tell them one thing and tell you something different. If if Flip ever get to the point where he could take some, if he become man enough to take some accountability about how he done treated every motherfucker around him, over the years, and and own up to it and stand on it, and you know what I'm saying, the love that I have for the nigga, and it's crazy. I'm sitting up here saying fuck the nigga, and I still love the nigga. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally saying fuck this nigga right now. But if I go out my door right now and I turn the corner and I see some niggas jumping him, guess what? I'm riding with him.
Yeah.
Cause that's the kind of nigga I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's still
Yeah.
fucking.
I could feel it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how it is. I done been there before, and I know how motherfuckers turn their back on you. I done been in jail several of times, and motherfucker be ready to get high with me. You know what I'm saying? But then when a bitch really needed the help, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers turned their back on me. So I definitely understand it. I just, and it ain't shocking me again about him saying fuck Skull and shit like that. Like I said, down the road, I've heard things, you know what I'm saying, about Flip because one Skull kind of fucked with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking him up. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at interviews. I'm seeing things just like I did you and everybody else that I rock with. You know what I'm saying? So I seen that he could be a fuck nigga, and I'm just being honest. And I ain't saying
Yeah,
he is on my part, but I
yeah,
seen plenty of comments and motherfuckers from down through Houston and shit saying certain things in the comment section about that interviews that they did.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
stuff like that. Broadway said, "Nah, fuck Skull." Broadway. So yeah,
Uh,
357 Broadway said, "Nah." He said, "Not fuck Skull," because he just coming in. He said, nah. He said he must be the one who scolded Skull the Bad Batch. Nah, he wasn't at that party.
oh,
Stop
you
it,
know what?
Broadway.
Hey, look. Hey, I just heard about that today. I ain't know nothing about that, man. And when I heard about it, I was like, no, man, that ain't happened. You know what I'm saying? But come to find out it was true, man. They said Skull got found butt naked or some shit.
Now I ain't heard about the butt naked part.
Man,
What?
they found Skull butt naked at Whataburger.
At Whataburger.
That was somebody told me. I don't know how true that is. I ain't finna put that on bro name, but somebody told me that right today. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, said somebody gave him put something in his drink or something, and he was butt naked at Whataburger. That was somebody,
Wow.
man. One of my homeboys told me that.
We never heard the butt naked at Whataburger. Broadway
Have
said
you
he
heard?
absolutely got found naked. Stop it, Broadway. Broadway said he did. I never
See,
heard that
see,
part.
see, see, see. I ain't even from Texas, so if this made it to me, and I'm in Memphis, and whoever the Broadway person is, seem like they
Broadway's
know.
a fucking troll.
Okay,
Broadway
well,
fucking with Skull down there. He said, yes, we did, sis. Oh, I didn't hear it. They said, yeah. They said, yeah. They said he said himself. Oh, I didn't know. So it's true, Govan. They saying
yeah.
it's true. I
One
didn't
thing,
know
one
that
thing,
part.
hey, one thing about me, whether we not talking or whatever, but I used to be in the car with Scope. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna come on here and make nothing up on bro. I ain't finna make nothing up on bro. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
ain't that
I'm
ain't
just
my
saying
way.
I ain't heard it. I ain't say you was lying,
Yeah, yeah,
Govan.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know about the getting slip some shit, but Skull, fuck, shit, damn. Who told you where to come from? How Skull name keep coming up, man?
Listen,
Govan.
listen, man. If you talk to Sco will tell you, like, despite the goofy shit he said, Sco, no, I'm like that for real, and I'm connected. And I got homeboys down there in Dallas. And I was chopping it up with him today. And one of my homeboys, he told me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how true it was when he told me, but I guess it is true.
They said how much coke did he snort when y'all was in the car? Have you ain't never been in the car with Skull? He
Who,
never said
me?
he been.
Who?
He said
Who?
him. Actually, I'm just catching the comment. You're not. He might
No,
have been
I done
talking
been in
about.
the car. I done been in the car with Scope plenty of times, a million times.
Oh, you had.
Yeah, a million times. But he ain't
Okay.
never snorted no. He ain't
Okay.
never snorted no cocaine though. He ain't never put none up his nose around me. I ain't never known
Yeah.
him to be that person. Never.
Yeah, that's what they've always said about Sko in the sector. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That
yeah, 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 yeah. Maybe though. I don't know, but I ain't
they still say I'm a drug addict. Shit, I
yeah.
don't study. You know what I'm saying? For real, I don't study. But anyway, so you said if Flip was fighting, you would, you know what I'm saying? You would definitely you wouldn't let nobody jump him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what type of brother you was to him, type of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And
You know what? Yeah,
I
you
think
know
that
what? I don't mean
if you
I
could
don't mean
sit
to
down
cut
with,
you out. I don't mean to cut you off, but you know, out of this whole shit, you know what hurt me the most
go ahead.
is is that I love Flip Daddy like my daddy, and I know he upset with me right now. You know what I'm saying? And like I literally would die for Big Wiz, and I know he upset with me, but man, Big Wiz just got to he just got to know, man. Maybe if I get a chance to talk to Big Wiz one day, maybe he'll and I get a chance to, you know what I'm saying, like elaborate on everything, he'll feel my pain or whatever. But Big Wiz, no, I ain't the kind of nigga, man. I ain't gonna keep nothing on my chest, you know, and I'm gonna speak on it. I don't go for who it is, but and I know he gonna ride with his son, his biological son, over me because he called me his son. And
Mm-hmm.
you and so that's what hurt me the most because I know our relationship might be severed because of what's going on with me and Flip.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
think if he saw you as a son, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he'll be mad at you, but I think he'll be disappointed in y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can see a man, a grown man that seeing you as a, you know what I'm saying, you looked up as a father figure, be disappointed because I do it with my kids. I be
Mm,
disappointed in their friends. I don't be mad at their friends. I be very disappointed with them. You know what I'm saying? And I be like, if they figure it out, they figure it out. So it is. She said, quick when you going back to Bethel Grave, man. She's from Memphis. That's Jazz
Bethel,
Longway.
Bethel Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bethel Grove. Until I was just in the Grove the other day hollering at Josh.
He said he was just in the Grove the other day.
Hollering at
I
Josh.
said I was supposed to be coming to Memphis actually this next month for my birthday. You know what I'm saying? My mama got a crib on East Georgia Avenue
Oh,
and
okay. Well,
shit.
hey,
So
well, we got the National Guard and shit here now, so it's safe. Come on down. Come on, bring your ass.
yeah, cause I be scared and shit, especially up by that corner store next to that tire shop. A bitch be scared in Memphis. I stay the fuck
Yeah,
in. I
yeah,
think I
yeah,
went to one club and I was like, nah, I'm cool. Every time I go back to go down there just to visit or just to take some homegirls or my cousin to the crib and we walk to Bill Street or something, I'm in that
yeah.
motherfucker. I don't like to come out or nothing. She said, I'll be out there shortly. She said she'll be
Yeah.
out there shortly.
Oh, okay.
So we got the beefs out the way. Is it anybody? If you said if Gangsta call and want to sit down with you in Charleston, you down. So I know if Gangsta can call and try to sit Charleston's nutty ass down. And yes, I called him nutty. He's nutty as fuck. I ain't got no problem with him. He was in my
Yeah.
boyfriend's movie, The $1 Million Thing. So, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I got to know Charleston through Shank Rock's movie, The $1 Million Thing for Charleston. But
Okay.
you said you and Flip, you know, his dad's like yours. So, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all can sit your asses down as grown men. Cause I think enough's enough. I think enough bloodshed has happened on your end, losing partners and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You done got found not guilty, which is a good thing. I hate seeing my black men incarcerated unless, you know what I'm saying, y'all make the decision to put your asses in there. You know what I'm saying? Like Cornelius and Justin, you know what I'm saying? We done lost one of the biggest rappers in Memphis, Dolph. It fucked the city up. I see his family
Hey,
still doing the turkey drive on behalf of his name. I love that for the city of Memphis and stuff like that. I think you and Skull could one day sit the fuck down, you know what I'm saying, and have a conversation. You know, we all know that Skull trolls and he breaks news down how the fuck he does. Entertainment wise, it might hurt a motherfucker's feelings. That's just how I always took
but
him.
but but
And
but
stuff.
but but I respectfully disagree with you on that. You don't when it come to a nigga that's your brother or nigga you know that's gonna slide with you and all of that. You don't do that. You don't do that with them. You don't do that
Yeah.
with them. You know what I'm saying? You do that with them other motherfuckers. You don't do that with me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
Okay.
that was my
Okay.
issue. But yeah, I can have a conversation with Scope. I could.
Yeah. Okay. You and Sadie's beef. Is there any beefs out there that you currently got going that we don't know about that you ain't got to work out and you it's up and stuck forever? Is it anybody out there that is fuck you nigga?
Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't know these people.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't know. Yeah. This some street shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I heard you say in the interview that you was moving out of Memphis. You still feel so comfortable because I know it's home, but you still feel comfortable going back to a city that just kind of turned their back on you for the most part.
Man, look, I'm gonna make myself comfortable. I'm gonna make the environment comfortable wherever I go.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. Yeah. You know, you ain't. Yeah, I'm more than comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't saying I'm a big bad wolf, but a motherfucker know I'm gonna leave it all on the field. I'm gonna leave it all on the field, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to find a nigga you know gonna shake something.
Yeah. And I feel that Jazz said keep it in the streets. They said Stan G is on his head, Gangsta Matrix.
Stan G
Stan
on
G
who
is
him?
on your head.
Man, tell them people to stop.
Old man Memphis said Stan G's on your head.
Man, I made Stan G tap out and throw the white flag. Man, tell them people stop. I got Stan G in my DM, man, crying like a priest.
Don't delete the comments. Don't delete those comments, y'all. He said, yeah, they said Jazz said Stan G's a junkie.
Man, listen, man. I got Stan G on video with doo-doo in his drawers, ODing on fentanyl.
Oh wow.
You need me to send it to you? You want me to run it to you? You want
Yeah,
me to?
send it to me. Yeah,
I
send it
got you.
to
I
me.
got
Old man must be a old man said Cap.
Oh,
He said what
that's
he
him?
think about Onan getting
Hold
I
on.
don't know.
Step out.
He's
Oh, mine, that's Stan G.
okay. There he is.
Yeah, bring him up. Bring him in. You can bring him in.
Yeah,
Man,
hold
that nigga
on.
know I got a video. Nigga, you know, all right, since he want to play.
Only Stan G hit the link.
Since he want to
They
play.
said Stan G's a goofy.
Man, I play this motherfucking video right now on live. Bring his
He
ass in.
said Jelly Bean said, "How long did you record Stan G with shit in his drawers?"
No, I didn't record him. His baby mama did. And she sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bring his ass up.
Oh,
I play
Jazz
it.
said she got okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I play it for him while he on the live. Bring his ass up. Tell him to bring his tough ass on
You ain't
up.
got to play it on here because I don't want the video to get struck, but send it to
Oh,
me.
okay. Okay, I
Stan
got you.
G,
I got you.
you
Stan
welcome to
G, quit
come
playing.
up.
Hey,
Jazz
Stan G,
said
quit.
she got the video
Hey,
too.
Stan G, quit playing with me, man, before I annihilate your ass. I done gave you a pass. Quit playing with me, boy. You know I got the rest of this shit. You know what I told you. Quit playing with me, man.
They said, "How do you feel about Onan TV getting 32 years?"
They should have gave him 64.
Mm.
Give me his address. Give me his address, and give me his girl address too, so I can go fuck his bitch and then send him a picture. Yeah, I need his girl address.
Whose girl's address you need?
Onan. I want his bitch
Okay.
address. Yeah, get that
Okay.
for me,
If
y'all.
somebody
Get
got
that.
Onina's bitch's address, can y'all
Yeah,
get it to
yeah.
me?
The Instagram.
So he can go.
Yeah. I need to go to work.
They said, calm down, Govan. It might not be him. Govan said it's him.
Huh?
That's
Oh,
him right here on this picture, right?
oh, man, it's Stan G, man. That's Stan G. Bring that nigga up, man. Bring your shake ass up, nigga, so I can play
He
this
said, bring your
video.
shitty ass up. I mean, yo, shaky ass up. I'm sorry, Stingy. I don't know. He said, I'm sorry. I'm getting confused with the shitty ass and the shaky ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. If this
Bring your
nigga pop up,
shaky,
if this
shitty
nigga pop
ass.
up on
You
this, if
welcome.
he pop up on this screen, y'all, I'm gonna play the video. Well, you say I can't do it because you don't want to get your. Well, just edit it out then. Just edit it out. If that nigga
I
pop up
don't
on
know
camera,
how to yet. I don't know how to do all of that stuff yet.
well,
Even though I've been doing this for a while.
listen. I got the coldest nigga in the world editor, my homeboy Vince. I get it edited for you. I'm gonna play the
Here he
shitty
is. Here
video.
he is.
Come on,
Stingy,
nigga.
is
Come on.
this you? Turn your camera on, Stingy.
Where
Oh,
you
he said he won't.
Niggas know I run Memphis, man.
Yeah,
Niggas
weak
know
ass
I run Memphis, man. When niggas see me, man, it going down, man. Niggas know I run the city, man. Nigga got me
Hey, man.
fucked up, man. Nigga got me fucked
Hey, that's my punching bag right there, man. You know what I'm saying?
A nigga know, man. I don't want to start you, man. I don't want to start you out in this shit. So, nigga, you need to be paying homage around these bitches.
How you start me out, Stan G, man?
I started you off in this shit, man. Nigga, I know Stan G started you off in this shit, man.
You pay, okay? You paid me for my first interview. You got the first interview. You did. Okay, you did.
Hey, but you owe me 2 of them motherfuckers. So but I you know, my money, bro.
Hey, get it like Tyson, then, nigga. If I owe you, get it like Tyson, then, nigga.
All right. I'm gonna come out there right now, man. I'm tired of playing with these niggas.
Yeah. Breathe. All this shit I done to you. You supposed to been here, nigga. What you waiting on?
Can I ask you some stuff? Oh, he dropped in before I got to the shitty. I mean, the shaky shit.
He know to drop down. He know you finna get on. He know you finna get on his ass. Yeah, after he had diarrhea.
Shit. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. You got some splaining to do around this motherfucker. Cause if I get this video, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And Jazz said she got the video too.
I'm definitely finna. Hold on. Matter of fact. I got some shit in my joint that I ain't gonna get your shit struck. Let me show you this client.
Jazz said we know he's snorting a key a day. Jazz is on that.
Man, a nigga snort a key and a half a day, man. I'm talking about, man, I got the nigga in the truck like this on fentanyl, Miss Paul, like this. I'm talking about him. Yeah, doodooing on yourself. Hold on.
Okay, Broadway, is he naked?
Man, naked as a jaybird.
Oh, he naked as a jaybird, B-Way. Damn it. Take it to Broadway's Twitch if you don't mind later on. Broadway, take your ass to Twitch and let him blast that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, man. Salute. Yeah.
Okay, listen. Hold on. I got one. Hold on. Let me show you this one. This shit is. Damn. Okay, yeah, boom. Check this out. You good? This ain't gonna fuck your shit up. He ODing on fentanyl right here. See the white shit coming out his mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old man. Yeah. You don't see that white shit coming out his mouth? Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old man. Hold on, let me show you. Hold on.
Jazz seems to have the same videos that you got too. She said I got the footage when he was on the floor and that house was nasty. Now, if you send me the videos, Govan, if you don't mind, I'm gonna send them to Broadway so we can watch them on the big screen on Twitch.
Look at his car. Look how he ride around. Look at his car. Look at the inside of the car. Look how he ride around. That's the biggest. Those gloves? Right. That's the biggest. Hold on. One second. Hold on. Look at this. Hold on. Look at him. The fentanyl king.
He's an otter. He's an otter.
Yeah. Leave me alone, Stan G. I'm just showing them the basic shit. I ain't even went hard on you. Leave me alone, Stan G, now. Before I show them the diarrhea draws, leave me alone.
Yeah, what's the gloves for in the car? I wonder what the gloves is for. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look at the nigga ashtray. Look at the biggest. Ashtray.
Yeah.
Come on, we talking about the biggest.
He said you own though. He said you own though, Govan. He said you know what I'm saying? He got the first interview XYZ and you know what I'm saying?
If I owe the man anything, he'll never be broke.
They said, "Oh man, that bitch car." He said, "Oh man." He said, "Oh man, that bitch car."
The bitch car.
That's Stan G.
Man, nigga, that's your nigga. That bitch ain't smoked 1,000 cigarettes with a box cutter. Nigga, that's your shit, nigga. Quit flying, nigga.
Thank you, bro. Not with a box cutter.
Yeah,
what?
1,000 cigarettes, and you ain't see the box cutter. Man, listen. Hey, I got the nigga don't even know, right? Listen, this one he don't even know. Cause see, I really kind of eased up off on, but you know, I'm so strategic. I ain't even showed him. He don't even know that I got video of him driving the Uber, the Lyft. Nigga, you supposed to be the biggest. You around this motherfucker drive. And I know knock the people that drive Ubers and drive Lyfts or whatever. You know, get your money. But we talking about the biggest. I got video.
He said Cap.
He said Cap.
He said she work at FedEx. He said Broadway said call your musty shitty booty back in, fuck nigga. He said
But yeah,
she work at FedEx.
she work at FedEx. Man, that nigga. Hey, look, I'm finna get back to my game when we get through with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, I
get
ain't.
back to your game. Thank you so much. Don't forget to send me them videos so we can watch them on the big screen. Cause Broadway
Man, I got
definitely
you. I
gonna
got
be
you.
on that motherfucking
Hey,
nigga neck
just for
for
that nigga
weeks.
playing with me, just hey, he better. Hey, listen, nigga. If you don't text me in the next 60 seconds and say you sorry, nigga, I'm finna send all of this shit to Miss Parker, nigga. And they finna put this shit on Twitch, nigga. I better get a text in 60 minutes. I mean 60 seconds, nigga, saying
Nigga,
you sorry.
nigga, you 54 seconds in, nigga.
Yeah,
He said I never drove a lift.
yeah, yeah. All right, yeah.
He
You
said he
want
never
you,
drove a lift.
yeah, tell him to drive to Walgreens to get some motherfucking Pepto Bismol for his ass.
Broadway said, I'm definitely gonna show them motherfuckers. That's gonna be one of his biggest clips. He said, let's go. He told you,
Yeah, yeah.
let's go, or
All right.
whatever. You know what I'm
Tell
saying?
him to get
You
ready
know,
then. He finna go
whatever shit
by.
like that.
Tell him to get ready. Tell him to get ready.
Okay, he said, get ready, Broadway. We're gonna put your ass on the big screen. You are no longer gonna be on Govan's neck. Cause trust me, at the 357 Broadway get done with you, Govan, I'm telling you, this nigga's gonna shit himself again. I'm telling you what
Already.
he gonna do when Broadway get Broadway's one of the biggest trolls in the motherfucking sector. And he's gonna
All
run that
right.
nigga, he gonna run his draws down through there. I'm sorry.
Okay,
You know what
okay.
I'm
Hey,
saying? We gotta do it to him.
Tell Broadway to get at me, man. Get Broadway my information, man. I need to link with
I
Broadway.
will.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. He said,
All
I'm gonna
right.
send you his information, Broadway. Check your fucking IG. Okay. He said, oh man, not me. He
Mm-hmm,
said they're
mm-hmm.
still talking this shit. But thank you so much, Govan. I appreciate you so much. It's been a
All right, for
pleasure
sure.
having
For
you
sure.
on here. You know what I'm saying? Not guilty, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But
Mr.
let's
Not
go.
Guilty.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
for sure.
I
For sure.
appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on here. And I
All right.
appreciate everybody for pulling up with me today and support me. The Mo 3 sectors all up in this bitch, my riders. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm
Thank
gonna come
you.
back. Hey, I like your shit. I'm gonna come back and fuck with you.
Okay, thank you, y'all. I hit him up when he first got found not guilty. I was in. He was like, "Hey, motherfuckers got me for 10,000." I was like, "Fuck, man, let me put my little purse back the fuck in the corner
Yeah, yeah,
where it
yeah.
goes." And he said, "Man, I appreciate it." He was like, "I've been blessed. I want to bless your platform." He hit me up, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "Shane, man, Govan just hit me up, and then you shot me a real number." I appreciate you so much. I felt like I was so honored. You know what I'm saying? I've come a long way, and I'm
Yeah.
still got work to do.
Real people do real things, man.
Thank you so much. And I hope everything works out for you. You know what I'm saying? And all the street shit, man. Say, keep it in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
For
But
sure.
salute to you, my brother. Thank you so
All right.
much. You know how to drop yourself down or you want me to do it?
I can just hit the little red button. I got it.
Okay, okay,
All
okay.
right.
I see said he taught you some shit.
Yeah.
Get me on your show. I need to be over there. I need to go over there to go Van Broadway. Check your Instagram. I'm gonna hit you up with his information. He's fucking with you, Broadway. Shout out to Go Van for fucking with the Mo 3 motherfucking sector. Okay. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. I see my Jelly Belly down there. I see you, China Boo. I see my Cali Stew down there. You know what I'm saying? My Angel. Thank you guys so much. Reed, Mahaya, all the big dogs in here streets. Yeah, and thank y'all so much. Good pussies up in here. It's Toya Baby, my sisters for real, my mother's keeper. All y'all, thank you so much. Okay. Broadway's going live today. If Govan sends me these videos, man, it's gonna be more than diarrhea running through these motherfucking streets, and I'm gonna be there for it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely gonna be there in support of it till about 2 o'clock. I think the longest I can hang with you, Broadway, is 2 o'clock. Texas 713. Shout out to you. You was the first one in here from the sector. You and my mother's keeper. I appreciate y'all so much. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, 713. Appreciate y'all. Must be doing some good shit if 713's in my chat. That's rare. Okay, straight like that. Thank you so much. He said you getting lined up, bro. Nah, I don't line people up. I don't run plays, and I don't think getting lined up around this motherfucker's gonna be my edges that's falling the fuck off straight like that. Okay. Other than that, we don't do it over here. Okay. Salute to everybody. Thank you guys again. I'm getting out of here. Done.